Okay, welcome to Little Gramsy. Thank you for joining us. We're hoping that the other people that have registered on our webinar today with Viking will join as the time goes on. So I'd just like to introduce myself. I'm Margaret from Miles Morgan Travel Wales branch. That's Wales in Somerset, not Welsh Wales. My boss Miles can't be with us today. He's stuck in traffic, but he's here in spirit, if not in person. So I'd like to introduce you to Sabrina from Viking. I've known her a long time, one of the best presenters in the business. So I hope you'll enjoy it, Little Ramsey, and hopefully other people will join you as we go along. I was lucky enough to do an Antarctica expedition cruise last month. So what we'll do is any questions or anything you'd like to know, you can either put them in the chat and we'll address them towards the end of the presentation. But thank you for being with us today. Sabrina, over to you.
Thank you, Mags. What an introduction. I'll pay you later for that. Well, good afternoon for anyone who's joining or about to join. Yes, as Mag said, my name is Sabrina Piscineri. I'm the Sales Training and Events Executive at Viking. So a very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining this webinar today. Where I am based in Kent, it's a bit miserable out here today. So yeah, we've not got the sunshine, but it's okay because I'm going to take you away from the UK and explore some wonderful remote journeys with you. Today, we're going to be taking a closer look at our brand new purpose-built, state-of-the-art expedition ships with Viking that take you to some of the most extraordinary and remote destinations on the planet. Now, for anyone, or you may know Viking as simply a river cruise line, and that's exactly how we started out almost 27 years ago with our chairman, Torsten Hagen, who led the company into becoming the world's leading river cruise line. Then in 2015, we entered the ocean cruise market with our first ship, the Viking Star. That was our first ocean ship. Now, if we fast forward from there, almost a decade later, we get to 2024, and now we've continued to grow both our river and ocean fleet alongside now our latest venture, Viking Expedition Journeys. Now, what we have done is we've simply applied our years of expertise from our river cruising and taken all that we have learned from our award-winning ocean cruising, and we've applied it to reimagine and perfect the expedition experience. And our expedition ships carefully combine comfort and exploration in the Viking way. So for those who have traveled with us on our river cruises and our ocean cruises, you will notice a lot of similarities with our expedition experiences. And something that we're very proud of, and that is our Viking inclusive value. And on our expedition ships, it will be no exception. So on the screen here, you will see everything that you need and nothing that you do not when you join a Viking expedition. Now, you'll recognize many of the inclusions if you've traveled with us before. They are the same, very similar to our river and ocean cruise experience, with included shore excursions, your flights, all your onboard meals, beer, wine and soft drinks with lunch and dinner, bottled water, teas and coffees around the clock. You'll also have 24-hour room service, complimentary use of the Nordic Spa and Fitness Centre, Wi-Fi throughout the ship as well, so that you can keep in touch with friends and family back home. So everything you need. So when you book a Viking expedition with one of the team members at Miles Morgan, this is what you're going to get included. Now, alongside the Viking inclusive value, we have our onboard expedition equipment that will enable you, our guest, to really experience and explore the surroundings up close. So we have two ships, the Viking Octantis and the Viking Polaris, which I'll show you in a moment. And each ship will carry this equipment on board. So we have two of our 12-seater special operation boats, okay, with individual suspended seats and the unique ability to be able to convert the open seating into an enclosed cabin, which is built for exploration to get you closer to the shores of Antarctica. We then also have a fleet of our custom designed kayaks that you see there on the screen. These can be either operated by paddle or with pedals, giving you hands-free use to use your binoculars or cameras to photograph your surroundings. The choice and the preference, of course, is yours. And then we also have a fleet of military Zodiacs, which are rigid inflatable rubber boats that can sort of take smaller groups of guests to landing sites, allowing for closer exploration. But their strength will allow you to really sort of sail these waters, especially when you're down in Antarctica shores. And this is where the equipment is stored, right here in the hangar. This is an industry first. Now, the hangar is an enclosed in-ship marina at the aft of the ship, right at the very back, where many of the tenders and the off-ship vessels and crafts are kept. Now, there is a slipway that runs up through the center of the hangar. You can see that here on the screen, which then will allow guests to embark on the Zodiacs. You'd be protected from the wind and waves from a flat, stable surface inside the ship, which then glides along the water to head out onto your excursion. You will then, once you have completed your activity in your excursion, you will then re-enter the hangar via the slipway to the protected hangar marina before disembarking the Zodiacs. And you will also see from the picture here on the screen that there is also a place where we embark and disembark from the special operations boats. And of course, we do have a mezzanine area here as well in the hangar, which will allow for guests to be able to see all of this equipment being used here down in the hangar. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the brand new ships that will take you to the world's most remote destinations and really allow our guests to immerse yourselves in these regions, but of course through the Viking way of exploration. Now, the ships are small enough to gain access to the desired landing spots, especially when we are sailing the polar regions, but they are large enough and comfortable enough to include all the facilities required for these missions. Now, our expedition ships are a lot smaller than our ocean ships. You will see there they carry 378 guests, but of course they are built in such a way that they will provide the speed and the superior handling and stability that is needed along the different seas. All right. And of course, we will not compromise on your comfort as we continue to offer all of the amenities that our guests will typically expect from a Viking cruise. So we'll start off with the accommodation on board, and I'll take you around the ship in a moment with some images, but we'll start off with the accommodation. So on the screen here, you will see everything that the staterooms and suites will have included for our guests. Now, for anyone who has traveled on our ocean ships before, you will notice again, many of the inclusions are like what we include on our ocean ships. Plenty of storage space as always. Comfy king-size beds along with all the amenities that you need. You've got flat screen TV, safe, hairdryer. The bathrooms come with underfloor heating. But we've got a few differences now, specifically for these staterooms on our expedition ships. And I want to highlight one particular difference, and that is our floor-to-ceiling drying closet. And you will notice it on the screen there. It's the image there on the right-hand side. Now, this drying closet allows you to place all your expedition clothing and boots inside the closet after a day of exploration. Perhaps it's sort of wet from the wind and rain or whatever and the waves. You can pop your clothes and your jackets and your boots in this drying closet. It will then circulate warm air to dry the clothing. And as if by magic, the next day when you get up ready for your next exploration, your clothing and your expedition gear will be nice and dry, ready for you to use again. Now, on the subject of expedition clothing, I just want to highlight what Viking will be offering our guests on board. So if you are sailing any of the polar regions, we will be offering our guests our complimentary, highly sought after, highly fashionable, I may add, Viking expedition jacket, which has been specifically designed for your comfort and safety. And you'll have that jacket ready and waiting for you in your staterooms when you arrive. You will then, whilst on board, also have complimentary use of our bespoke rubber boots that are insulated and designed for efficient expedition activities. You'll have waterproof trousers and Nordic walking poles for you to use whilst on board, okay, doing your excursions. And then to the right, you'll see there a list of clothing that we suggest you either purchase before the journey or you can purchase on board in one of our shops to ensure all of the appropriate gear is ready for you to enjoy whilst doing all the activities that are being offered by Viking. All right, let's take a look at some of the staterooms now. So I want to start off with our leading category staterooms, and that's the Nordic and Deluxe Nordic balcony staterooms. Both of these categories are the same size at 215 square feet in size. Now, I just want to explain the concept of a Nordic balcony. You may have heard of that, or you may not, but these balconies are very unique to Viking, and we've designed them to enable you to really maximize your chances of spotting wildlife at sea and enjoying the stunning wilderness views in total comfort, especially when you're in your stateroom. Now, they come with floor to ceiling distortion-free glass at the very edge of the ship, which allows you to take in the views whilst still keeping the elements out. And that is very important, especially when you're down in Antarctica. Now, there's no veranda impeding your view, no intrusion to your elegant living space, but it just gives you the opportunity to connect closely with the places that you're exploring. And should you wish to feel even closer to nature whilst in your staterooms, the top of your panoramic glass actually lowers to transform your stateroom into a sheltered alfresco lookout, and you'll have like an observation shelf at elbow level to stabilize binoculars or cameras so that you can enjoy taking videos and photography of the wilderness gliding by. Now, we have our bigger staterooms, such as the Nordic Penthouse, which is what you see here on the screen. These come in at 269 square feet in size. And to take a look at the bathrooms as well, these bathrooms on our expedition ships have been inspired by our ocean ships, with the design and the layout very similar to what our guests are used to on our ocean ships. We want to keep the Viking model running seamlessly throughout. So despite having river, ocean, and expedition as three separate products under the one Viking brand, you will be familiar with all of those types of journeys. We then come to a selection of suites on board, such as the Nordic Junior Suite. This is slightly bigger now at 322 square feet in size. Again, that Scandinavian elegant design running throughout the staterooms as well. And then we have our Explorer Suites. Now, these are the largest on board. They are 80% larger than the Nordic Junior Suites that we've just seen in the previous image. This comes with a well-appointed living area, and you've got a dining area that seats 4. Plus, you'll also have private access to the Explorer Suite gardens as well. So if you're booked into an Explorer Suite, you'll have access to this beautiful outdoor area as well. So those are our staterooms. Now take a look at our public spaces. Now these have been reimagined for expedition. The living room, which you see here, features floor to ceiling windows, again, to really maximize your views. And Max can tell you as well, it's very important that you are close to the scenery, because you never know what you're going to spot out there. The wildlife is incredible. So you need to be close to a view at all times. So we almost want to bring the outdoors in. And as I say, that Scandinavian decor that Viking is very famous for and well known for, Nordic furnishings. We've got the library that will allow for both comfort and enrichment in these public spaces as well. Something new for our expedition ship, which is Expedition Central. Now this, if you like, is the center hub. This is the main hub on board, which is manned by our expedition team. Every itinerary, every journey that we sail, we have a dedicated expedition team that will be with you throughout the entire journey. Now this area here is a very important area. It's a key area for guests to come down and help plan and book their excursions alongside the expedition team. They will be verifying their landing times and go-to gate times and get answers to questions about upcoming excursions and shore landings. Now, for those of you interested perhaps in sailing Antarctica, the way in which an itinerary is designed is very different to a typical river or ocean cruise. And we'll talk about that in just a moment when we talk about some of the destinations that we're visiting. So here we've got 3D printing maps, we've got digital screens, you've got special data chart tables, and you can learn more about the places that you're sailing through here by viewing the real-time ship tracker as well, to let you know and guide you where the ship is heading to. So that's up at Expedition Central. Now, a few places that you might recognize, especially for anyone who's stepped on board our ocean ships before, this is the Explorers Lounge. Now, it's such a popular venue on our ocean ships that we've introduced it to our expedition ships. And this spans across 2 decks here. You'll be surrounded by these beautiful panoramic views, a great place to relax, especially once you've had perhaps a morning or an afternoon of exploration. There's nothing better than to just come up here, admire the scenery, relax, have a cup of coffee, and just watch the world go by. Now, just further along from the Explorers Lounge towards the middle of the ship, you will also have Mamsen's Norwegian Deli. Now, this venue was introduced here onto the expedition ships to really give you a sense of that Norwegian tradition running throughout. We've got our very famous Norwegian waffles inspired by Torsten's mum's recipe book. We've got open sandwiches here, delicious cakes and pastries to enjoy. And again, this is open throughout the day for guests to come up here and grab a bite to eat whilst relaxing and taking in the views. Another area which is a brand new concept for Viking is the Aula. Now, this is an incredible place. And if you ever get the chance, and I hope you do, to step on board one of our expedition ships, you must come and pay a visit to the Aula. Now, this is located on the aft of Deck 2, and this is the world's most advanced venue for learning and enriching yourselves at sea. Now, this is a stunning panoramic alfresco auditorium inspired by the University of Oslo's ceremonial hall. And this was actually the venue where the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony used to take place. Now, the Aula, this area here, is going to be used for lectures, daily briefings, and films. And this unique space will feature an 8K laser projected screen. Now, on the image that you can see here, the screen is actually up into the ceiling. So it does retract up into the ceiling when not in use to expose what you can see here, these floor to ceiling windows, okay? In addition to these windows here, the large bottom windows of the stage, right at the very bottom there, these windows and doors will slide open, providing an alfresco access to an indoor-outdoor experience. So you can go from sitting here in the auditorium of the Aula, and as if by magic, the doors will open and it will bring you outside here to the beautiful Finser Terrace, which sits just outside of the Aula. And here you will find an outdoor paradise, comfortable seating. You've got incredible 270-degree views of nature around you, and heated lava stone fire pits, of course, to keep you warm as well in these cold temperatures. So some stunning areas on board, which allows the guests to really bring the outdoors in as well. Now, for our expedition journeys, we know some of them can be quite demanding. They can be quite full on. So, of course, after a day of exploration, what better way to relax by indulging in the Nordic spa? If you've had this or experienced this on our ocean ships, you'll know that this here you can enjoy even on the Octantis and the Polaris. So you can relax and take in the scenery from our spa pool. You've got floor to ceiling windows, you've got the sauna, the snow grotto, the warming cave, and then of course as well, we'll have the fitness center with a choice of treadmills and bikes and weight machines as well. This is all complimentary for the guests to enjoy. The only thing that you would need to pay for would be a spa treatment if you so wish to have one. Then speaking of relaxation, we continue outside, which is where you'll find the choice of 3 different pools. This comes from the Aquavit Terrace and they're heated at different temperatures. There is a retractable roof there, as you can see on the screen, so you can enjoy them year round. And of course, this is the outside view where you see the 3 different pools there, all heated to 3 different temperatures. So you've got a hotter pool, then a slightly lukewarm pool, and then you'll have one that is colder than all 3 of them, and you can enjoy this outdoor space as well. Okay, let's move on to dining. Okay, dining and destination focused dining is something that Viking have been very proud of for the last 27 years. So we have taken the very best of our dining venues from our ocean ships and introduced them here onto the Viking Octantis and the Viking Polaris. Now, the ships are sister ships, so everything that you see here on the screen is identical. Doesn't matter what ship you go on, they're all the same. So we keep the dining options familiar and recognizable to you, the guest. So as I say, if you've traveled with us before, you'll be familiar with them. Dining is more of a relaxed concept, however, on expedition, and I must point that out to you, but still very, very important along the journey. So we'll start off with our elegant restaurant. Now, the main restaurant offers the ultimate onboard dining experience. You'll have your regional cuisine menu, which will change every evening, alongside the always available classic menu, which is served surrounded by these sweeping views. Plenty of natural light coming in, floor to ceiling windows, so you can have dinner with a view every evening. Moving on to one of our alternative restaurants here. This is Manfredi's. This authentic Italian restaurant offers the best of Italian cuisine, inspired by all different regions of Italy, Toscana, Sicilia, Basilicata. As an Italian myself, I can tell you the food in this restaurant is chef's kiss. It's absolutely incredible. And as always, there is absolutely no charge to dine in this venue. It's all part of the Viking inclusive value. Now, I also said that dining is a little bit more relaxed here on board our expeditions, purely for the types of excursions and experiences that you'll be doing. So the more relaxed concept here is the World Cafe. Now, this has been enhanced specifically for expedition journeys. You'll have the main area where our guests will be eating. We're undertaking expedition activities, so this will be open throughout the day. You've got a more casual, relaxed atmosphere, but more of an interactive place as well, where you can really mix and mingle and socialize with other guests as well. You'll have live cooking here. There is an open kitchen. There's premium seafood, sushi choices, a grill alongside the very famous ice cream parlor, fresh bakery here as well. And you can enjoy all of these international flavors inside or flowing through into the Aquavit Terrace. Okay. And again, the Aquavit Terrace was introduced to us back in 2012 on our longships in Europe, sailing our European rivers. We loved it so much that we introduced it to our ocean, and now it's making an appearance on our expedition ships as well. Okay, so that was a bit of an overview of the ship, a bit of a whistle-stop tour. Now what I'd like to do is just highlight briefly just a select few of our expedition journeys. I know that if I were to talk about all of them today, well, we'd be here till tomorrow. So I just want to highlight a few of the most iconic, starting with Antarctica, this region here. And this journey here, Antarctic Explorer, is an iconic journey from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia. Now, this 13-day voyage will take you to the Antarctic Peninsula to witness snow-covered landscapes, huge icebergs, towering glaciers, and of course, Mags has just returned from here, so she'll know all about this area. Now, we operate this itinerary from November through to March, and we are, as you can see, on sale right up until 2026. I know some people think, my goodness, it's on sale for quite a far in advance, but our ships are small and therefore we have to go on sale earlier because the cabins do get booked up. So with this particular itinerary, you'll spend 2 nights in Buenos Aires, so we'll fly you down there, followed by then a charter flight to Ushuaia, okay, which is where you will board the expedition ship and then sail down to Antarctica. and this journey will also include 2 days of sailing Drake's Passage, plus a day of scenic cruising along Cape Horn. Now, I just want to show you the map here of where we're sailing on this particular itinerary. Now, on our Antarctic journeys, I mentioned this earlier, these journeys consist of what they call a flexible itinerary. Okay, which means that the exact locations, landings, and shore excursions may vary from day to day, depending on weather conditions and the wildlife sightings. Okay, and we really want you to experience as much of Antarctica as possible. So a lot of the landing times, a lot of the places that you're going to explore will be decided once you're on board, and that decision is made alongside the captain and the expedition team, because we really want to maximize those chances of you exploring and seeing the incredible wildlife. And speaking of wildlife, Antarctica is one of those places that really does have such an abundance of wildlife, and the shore landings that we create and we design for you will give you the opportunity to see them. Now, sightings are never guaranteed. We wish they were, but they aren't. But the dedicated expedition team work tirelessly. They're such an incredible team. They work really hard to ensure that we can get you the best chances of spotting this wildlife, especially when you're down here in Antarctica. And that just gives you an example of some of the penguins, the seals, the whales that you're going to see here, hopefully, when you're down in Antarctica. So now from south, we're going to head all the way up north now to the other side. And we've got some exciting new journeys that were recently added to our expedition program. Of course, now that we have 2 expedition ships sailing, it means that we can offer more sailings and more places to cover. So this itinerary here into the Northwest Passage, a fantastic 13-day trip that starts in Greenland, so starts at the capital and takes you right into the Arctic. This will begin sailing. We've never operated this itinerary before, so it's brand new for next year, 2025, right on sail till 2026, where you'll set sail from Greenland's capital, Nuuk. And this is a fascinating journey along the rugged shores of Greenland. You'll be sailing up through into the Canadian high Arctic as well. And of course, plenty of time for you to really sort of immerse yourself in these local cultures and traditions the higher up you go up the Arctic Circle, into the Arctic Circle. Now, as well as Antarctica and the Arctic regions, which is where a lot of the time people think that our expeditions just travel to, well, actually, we explore so much more as well. And with Viking, you don't just have to sail to Antarctica or the Arctic. We also offer some amazing journeys to Canada and the Great Lakes. And one that I wanted to highlight today is this wonderful 8-day journey known as Niagara and the Great Lakes. Now, we have many different variations of itineraries and journeys. This is just one, but if you were to speak to the team at Miles Morgan, they'll be able to really showcase to you all the different itineraries that Viking offer in this part of the world. Now, we sail the Great Lakes throughout the summer months. It's a really good time to travel here. The journey and all the other Great Lakes journeys are on sale all the way up to 2026. This particularly operates between April and September. And this is a Toronto till Milwaukee journey that can be completed in the reverse direction. And I hope you can see the map on the screen there, so you'll be able to see the different lakes that you'll be sailing through. And you'll notice as well, in between the borders of US, so in Michigan and Ontario, Canada, you will notice the tight squeeze between the borders there, between the locks. But because the ships are small enough, the expedition ships are easily able to glide through and get from one lake to another, which is just fantastic. And again, because the ships are smaller, it's a great way to sail and explore the lakes up close. You can go bird watching at Point Pelee. You can discover the motor-free island of Mackinac. Mackinac Island doesn't have any vehicles on that island. It's completely motor free and absolutely stunning. Or you can pick up a kayak and kayak over the shipwrecks in Thunder Bay. And as I say, this is just an example of the many journeys and itineraries that we offer across Canada and the Great Lakes, sailing on our expeditions. And of course, as well, with our Antarctica and Arctic itineraries, there are different variations of journeys, some slightly longer, some slightly shorter. So we have our 13 days, and then we have much longer durations that you can take advantage of as well. And as I say, the teams at Miles Morgan are fantastic. We work really closely with them, and they will be able to really showcase and highlight to you all the wonderful journeys that Viking offer now with our 2 brand new expedition ships. So that comes to the end of my webinar today. I hope that's given you some insight into exploring these remote and extraordinary destinations with Viking. As I say, if you've known us for river and ocean, why not now give us a chance and explore the expedition journey with Viking? As always, as I say, the lovely teams at Miles Morgan will have all the information that you need as well. So thanks very much. Over to you, Max. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. And thank you for mentioning that this recording will go out to our customers that didn't manage to get on the webinar this afternoon. So it will reach an awful lot, if not 100% of our customers who might be interested in the expedition cruising. Having just experienced it, it was an amazing thing to do. And the wildlife and the science and the history all combined with the icebergs and being up close and personal to them. It was an amazing experience, very much like I was on another planet.
It's a very surreal experience, isn't it?
Yeah. I said to Mars, I said, now, how am I going to beat this, Mars, apart from going to the moon? So next fan trip to the moon, I'm your girl. So
you're the one.
Yeah, Sabrina, thank you so much. And as
Thanks
I say,
very
sorry
much.
Mars couldn't be with us today, but I hope I was a good stand-in.
No, you were fantastic. Thanks very much.
And speak soon.
Yeah, take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.